Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, my name is Vilma and my channel is called My Curls and Beauty, and today I'm reviewing the Revlon Colorstay. Now this line comes in two different formulas. The one that I have here is combination to oily, but it also comes for normal to dry skin, which I think it's absolutely amazing because I feel like it's the only drugstore brand that does that, which I think is absolutely awesome. Now I used this foundation about 5 years ago, and from what I remember, it did not come with a pump. It felt really heavy on the skin. It gave medium to full coverage, and it looked quite heavy. Not only it felt heavy, it also looked very heavy. I didn't like using this foundation during the day. I liked it for nights out and stuff like that. And I also remember that it gave me a flashback, although the SPF was quite low. Now the new bottle that we have here, I'm not entirely sure, and I'm not going to say that they have reformulated because I really don't know, but it comes with a pump, and I think that's a huge plus because I remember using this foundation and thinking, gosh, I'm always wasting product, and also seeing reviews of people saying that they really didn't enjoy the foundation as much just because of the packaging. So Revlon has listened to their customers and they've provided us with a pump. Now the foundation now comes with SPF 15, and as I mentioned before, the SPF back then was a lot lower. It was definitely less than 10, I think maybe 6, but now this foundation comes with SPF 15. It comes in a glass jar, and it carries 1 fluid ounce, which is 30 ml, and it retails for £12.99. You can find it available at Boots, Superdrug, and some larger supermarkets also carry this. So I'm going to read a little bit of the description of the foundation. It says, achieve a flawless complexion with the Revlon Colorstay Makeup Foundation. Catering specifically for oily to combination skin, its lightweight, silky texture blends seamlessly to deliver medium coverage and natural looking color with a long-lasting matte finish. The oil-free liquid foundation controls shine and provides SPF 15 to shield against environmental aggressors, leaving you with a smooth, mattified complexion for up to 24 hours. I believe in the US there are 18 shades available from the formula for combination to oily skin. However, here in the UK, I've only seen 13. The shade that I've matched myself to is 300 Golden Beige, and I felt like it was the best match from the line for my NC30 skin tone. Now, if you check the info bar below, you will see other foundation shades that I put down there so you guys can kind of like cross-reference if you are of a similar skin tone to me. Maybe this shade will work for you. Now I apply the foundation with two different tools. I use the Miracle Complexion sponge from Real Techniques on the right side of my face, and I used a full pump to really show you the amount of coverage that the foundation gives you. And I really like using the sponge. I feel like it's quite quick. The sponge, because it's dampened, it feels quite cooling on the skin. I also find that the foundation blends a lot better than it did back then, and that leads me to believe that they may have changed the formula. And I just like the coverage really nicely with the sponge. I feel like there's the finish is quite flawless. It still looks like skin, although it has covered everything that I need to cover. On the left side of my skin, I use the Louise Young Super Foundation brush, which is a new brush that I'm trying. And I found that at the start, it looked a little bit streaky, but once you start buffing the foundation in, it looks very good. Now, from what I could remember applying this foundation in the past, it dried very quickly, so you had to work in sections. I don't find that you need to do that necessarily now. You can just apply the foundation and blend it in like any regular foundation. I didn't feel like it was drying too quickly, but once you start blending, it starts setting and it just stays on the skin. I didn't feel like there was a lot of difference between both sides of the face. I felt like the brush gave me medium to full coverage and the side of the sponge gave me the same amount of coverage. So I think it's just down to your personal preference if you prefer to use a sponge or a brush. Once the foundation sets, I find that the foundation is not completely matte. There is some luminosity. Maybe luminosity is not the right word. It's kind of like in between matte and satin. From what I could remember in the past, the foundation was totally matte, like completely. And this time I just don't feel that the foundation looks all that matte. And today I applied it without a primer, but I have been using a primer every day, and the foundation lasts the entire day. It just stays on the skin so nicely. And where I usually set the foundation, with other foundations, I set my entire face. I haven't been setting this foundation because it's a Colorstay. It's supposed to be a very long wearing formula. So where I only apply powder is underneath my eye, so maybe the powder will come all the way down till here. But for the rest of my face, I have not been applying any powder. Everything I have on is creamy. My bronzer is a cream finish bronzer. My blush is also creamy. And then I have a highlighter, which is kind of like a powder highlighter, but it's not supposed to kind of like leave my skin matte in any shape or form. And I've been really enjoying this foundation. It really has surprised me that I've liked it so much. I feel like every day I look at myself in the mirror maybe 4 to 5 hours into my day. I am not looking oily. I like how the foundation is looking. It's making me look very flawless, but it still looks like me. It still looks like skin, although it's providing really wonderful coverage. So how I felt about this foundation 5 years ago is completely different from how I feel right now. I love it. Before, I felt like it was heavy, it was cakey, it looked like a mask, it was super matte, and it always gave me a white cast every time I took pictures, although the SPF was quite low. Now the SPF is a lot higher. It feels lightweight on the skin. It doesn't look like a mask. It stays for a very long time. All my products that I apply on top, they still look exactly the same after 9 or 10 hours when I come home. It controls oil. Like I said, I don't set my face with a powder, and the foundation is still there by the time I get home. And I just love it. I think I only had to blot maybe once a day after maybe 7 hours, and it was only on my forehead. Everywhere else, my skin is still matte, and that's absolutely amazing, especially for the price point, because it's only £12.99. So love it, highly recommend. If you guys have tried this foundation, please let me know in the comments below how you feel about it. And yeah, that's basically it. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys found this video helpful, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye.